Hey guys, welcome to Hello Podcast with me, Angelina, and I am with one of my favorite teen moms ever, Farrah Abraham. She's so much more than just teen mom. She's a comedian, right? And
yes, thank you
how
for
much
having
more
me.
are you doing right now?
Oh my God, everything,
Everything.
Right? The world is our oyster.
She's a woman
Thank
of
you
many
for,
things.
Yes, all things.
All things.
Thank you for having me.
Well, thank you for being here. We have
Yes.
so much to talk about.
Yes,
this
literally.
is a long time coming.
Yeah.
Let's talk about your comedy. I'm so
Yes.
intrigued with this because I actually congratulated you in your DMs.
Yes.
Like not even knowing you were doing this, but
Yeah.
I saw on Instagram and I was like, oh my God, like congratulations. And you were like, thank you. And then like, let's go into that first.
Yeah. So Spearmint Rhino comedy debut.
Yeah.
It's been blowing up. I have like 50 or more comedy bookings that we're trying to deal with. I'm, comedy agents, comedy managers everywhere, all like the hot spots for comedians. And I'm just trying to, from a gentleman's club and kicking this off and being paid more than pretty much any comedian I've ever known for their first debut, which I never just did little shows and openers. I just debuted. And now I just want to go to arenas and I want to tour. I love still, reality TV and some of those great things where we've started. But I want to keep continuing into scripted and comedy and just have so much fun.
Yeah, and you're definitely going that way. Look at you. You're already a comedian and you have so many other bookings that you're going to be traveling around all of the states, right? And then
It's
maybe
so nice
overseas.
to meet our supporters.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dubai, hit me up.
No, can I come with you?
Yes.
I got to go to Dubai. I got to see like what these type of men are about over there.
Yeah, Angelina and Farrah, singles in Dubai. Yes.
That would be amazing. That would be a show. But like when I watched you, because you put a couple of clips on your Instagram and you were just like literally, obviously yourself. Me and you, I feel like are a lot in the same. Like we say what we feel. We don't sugarcoat shit. What you see is what you get with us.
Have fun, yeah.
People can hate on us all they want, but what the fuck, like we're authentic.
It's funny.
It's hilarious.
Yeah, I feel like it's just time to laugh at like the haters, the hard times, the struggling times of teen mom. And look, like there was 12 teen mom producers in the audience. You would think like they would be sick of me. They've also fired me and rehired me. But I was like, wow, what a huge compliment. And I'm so grateful that they got to show up and thankful. But
Dr. Drew was in the crowd.
Yeah, Dr.
I was like,
Drew
Dr. Drew's in the crowd.
Gave me an amazing rave review, and everyone was standing up clapping, and that is a testament of I'm moving beyond where I've been. I can laugh at where I've been at, and
that's a big thing.
And that's a great comedian.
When you can laugh at what you've been through, like even though they were the most darkest, toughest times, like at one point you were, crying about it, so upset, and I can only imagine the shit you've been through, like, and my heart goes out. Us women, when we go through shit like that, it's good to now be able to go on stage and laugh at it because you've already been through there. I think you've mourned it. I think you've been, you've been through a lot. I've been through a lot.
From it. I just call it like recovery skills are everything, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, for real. And I love that now you're segueing into like a whole new realm, like a whole new thing. Like it's not just reality TV anymore. No. You're a comedian now.
Yes. And I really love that. So I got a bachelor's in entertainment business at the Los Angeles Film School in LA.
Wow.
And so I learned, I've been doing pitches, selling shows, everything on the back end, was being at home for many years, an online mom. And then I continued with screenwriting and then digital marketing for my master's. So it was just story all the time, right? And then selling the story. And I think comedy to me was I'm in such a good place. I can kind of celebrate. I miss touring. I used to do appearances in clubs, and I didn't really want to DJ or sing, even though I've done that. And I think comedy is that middle even for me, with all my education and the entertainment. Getting writer, director, producer, and talent credits to me was something very important because that's what I have a degree in. And I feel like often reality stars don't get that. People challenge them. Mm-hmm. And I was just 100%. Done. I was just done with the challenge. I'm ready to just move on in my life. And if people want to value my talent, they can, or I can just go find a new group who does.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love looking at it in the positive light because, when you can't look at all the negative shit. Yeah. How many people are writing stupid shit about me and you? It's these are ogres in their basement. I mean, really, they're like idiots. And like, I don't even read it anymore. And you know, it's just good. Like I even say to myself lately, like I've been laughing at my own shit. Like if people want to, it's the best way to do. When you laugh at yourself, who the f is going to come at you and be like, she's a you made it a joke and you made it funny, and now what are they going to do? They're not going to be able to say anything about anything.
So it's like, it was fun being punchlines, but now I can make my own punchlines. You know, it's great.
Did you write your own stuff, or did you?
I mean, I really pull from like comedic stories. I like, you know, watch, there was a series on Amazon, and it was about a woman, Marvelous Mrs. Maisel. And it was all about a mom turning into a comedian. And I think like it was all stories. It was all fun. She got to travel the world. And I even went to their events. I really, really loved that. And then Adam Sandler, like we would go to arena comedy shows, and they're telling stories of their life. Highs, lows, funnies, made up stuff. That's just stories that they know.
That they
and
dreamed
I
of or
think
something.
like that's me. I like to hear a story, have fun, twist turns. And I think that's why people, again, who've edited my shows for like a decade would come out to even care, is like, wow, Farrah's still so entertaining. It's wild.
Look at that. That's a big thing. It like when you saw them in the crowd, you were like, okay, you chopped and screwed me for this many years, but like you're still now, you're not to say they're fans, which is a great thing. Like, you know, it's full circle for you.
Yeah, and mad love to the crew. Mad love to you know,
right?
my
Like
co-stars. I mean, I just did Kaylin Lowry's podcast from Teen Mom 2.
Awesome.
And so
I got to do hers soon. It's something I want to get into this after, but like, do you want to say anything else about the comedy? Like, because I really want to like make sure we say everything here, and let everybody know about, because everyone's intrigued. Like, you know, like you said, you DJ'd, you sang, and like, you know, I was DJing. I'm still doing like my songs coming out. And then like, I never thought to do comedy because I am a funny. You're funny like me.
Just,
we are like raunchy, but like we're like a funny raunchy, and we don't give a fuck.
Your own way, your own taste.
But I never thought of like to do that. But when I saw you doing it, I'm like, damn, she's fucking killing it. I should have went to the event, by the way. Now knowing what I know now.
Well, there's gonna be more events. I hope we'll be able to work together at some point.
Yeah, 100%. Imagine me and you going, like I'll go up after you, or I'll go on the stage.
I can't go to Jersey Shore or anything, but
why not?
We'll see in the future.
Yeah,
maybe our own dating show.
I would oh my God, imagine me and you on our own dating show. We would be making men cry. We not would on
have
purpose,
the best of times.
But it would just be like, we wouldn't deal with like fuckery, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I'm all about good times. Like, let's go on a yacht. Let's go on a private jet. Let's go have a good time.
I love that. Yeah, no, we have to, especially like we're getting older, and like life is short, man. Life is short. It is so short.
Yes.
I got to tell you, I commend the way that you're just so blunt and I wouldn't even say that you are blunt, but like you're just so transparent, because at that event, somebody that I know.
What event? This comedy event?
Yes.
Uh-oh, you're going into the event. Yeah. I do not control the event, by the way.
I know. But I was like very shocked as to like why this person went to the event, because I didn't ever think or heard or, oh, I'm a big fan or of you or anything. And like, we never watched anything like that together. So when I saw that person was at your event, I'm like taken aback, like, what the f-? And then like, just hit the fan after that. And I'm like, what happened?
So your ex-boyfriend showed up to my comedy debut, and I did not know that was your ex-boyfriend. I don't know. What was
ex-fiance?
Oh, fiance. I'm so sorry. So I don't even know.
You see, you don't even know.
I don't even know.
Thank you for not knowing.
You know, and I've been so busy with everything else after that. Again, going on like the Comedy Mothership, being with Tony Hinchcliffe, like all these roast battles and comedy. I've been like, I got a whole new set of friends in comedy. So I didn't really even stop to think about whatever that weird woman abusing situation was.
What the fuck?
And I kind of did say, like, on my comedy debut, I did post this video on my Instagram. I was like, and, you know, the crowd kind of like went, oh, you know, it's a wave of emotion when you are on stage for the comedy. It's laughs, it's oohs, it's ahs. I love them. I love my audience, you know?
Yeah.
But when I said, you know, I just kind of had to move on because of all this personal healing work and recovery work that I've done. And I was like, someone in the crowd could be my rapist. Someone in the crowd could be the, person who's attacked me. And I do feel like, even though if that was your ex-fiance, I'm sorry to hear, like, I didn't know you were even engaged or had a fiance. I guess you just come and they go, it's like, next man. But I had no idea. And I feel like when someone reaches out, even if it's like to ask to a date or like whatever that weirdness was, it's like, I just don't think it's a time or the space when I am doing work. I don't think it's a time or space to like get me, off my track of focus, because it's about everyone. It's not about one person. And I then think like, I didn't know, like, another woman came forward in the report with your ex-fiance. I guess he was dating her. She had a child. I'm also a mom. I just kind of have this fierce thing of like, you might reach out and then like twist it and attack me. And that's really what he did. I'm sure he probably did it to you and the other woman or other women. But I was just like, I'm not here to impact anyone's mental health in a negative way. I've never been about that. I've gone through my own health and wellness ups and downs, and I openly share them on Teen Mom and in real life. Scan my brain. I suggest everybody does it. Know who you are. I
mean, for real.
And stop doing the negative things. But when they were saying that I was impacting their mental health, it's like,
oh my God, I saw that.
am not, you cannot narcissistically put me on the spot and wrangle me into your stuff and hide behind women and blame other women. I have like a real big issue with, women abusers, like men who are women abusers. And it's sad because in our society, a lot of women who you even see coming forward now allow themselves to be abused by men, not talk, not say anything. And so, maybe you have been holding back some things about this fiance. I don't even know.
I have been holding back a lot.
Yeah. And so I just think, you should share that, because a lot of women suffer in silence.
Yes. I can attest to that as 100%.
Yeah. So let's not suffer in silence. Let's have a good chat.
I was with him for almost 3 years, and the amount of stuff he has done and
3 years.
Yeah. And
that was a big chunk of your time.
Especially my older 30s, like I'm almost 40. I'm going to be 39 June 26th.
What's the plan, girl? My God. You said June 26th?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm May 31st. We're very close.
Are you a Cancer? No, I'm
a Gemini.
You're a Gemini.
May Gemini.
But Gemini women are different from Gemini men, I feel. Yeah. Oh, Gemini men are like, no.
Oh, yeah. I would never date a Gemini man.
No.
I'm not even friends with certain Gemini women. I have to, my family is a plethora of Gemini, and I have to, and also Cancer and Gemini cusp.
I'm a Cancer, so.
I have a Cancer like low,
Cancer
moon or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm like, I got my daughter, I got my Cancer, I got my love.
Oh, your daughter's a Cancer?
Oh, no, she's a Pisces. My
me and your daughter would get along.
Cancerness comes out with
your
her.
Daughter's a water sign.
Yes.
So am I. So.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah. So, but like, back to this.
How did he groom you to be like, come back and forth to that?
Well, because when you're a domestic violence abuse victim, you, especially with me and me never really having a father, growing up as a kid, I looked at that as like the normal. Like, oh, maybe it's, and then the fact of the matter also is like, it's you're the fucking problem, right? Don't people do, like men, especially towards women, like it could be both ways, vice versa. I'm not just saying it's just one way, but don't you feel like it's like the narcissism in them in a lot of people nowadays, like it's women, men. I'm not just going to pinpoint one way.
Yeah, it's everywhere in our society.
It's getting very bad. The gaslighting.
Gaslighting is everywhere. It's rampant in our society.
Yep.
When you go to a intensive trauma healing center like I did, I basically like went through any relationship inventory that I ever had. We learned so much about what is bad in our society. And a lot of people say like, oh, it's horrible if you go to a recovery center.
I went to a recovery too.
Yes. And I have to say,
in
that's
Jersey.
the wrong view of life.
Correct.
We were all set up to fail in public school if you were a public school kid like I was. And that's why my daughter is not a public school kid. She is a at-home student, because I don't believe in sending someone through wounded, horrid narcissism, gaslighting, abusive school environments, which is what we have in public school. I lived it, went through it, had to go to a recovery center and still talk about it. And that hula hoop of where we start in life kind of starts grooming us to put on our shoulders of the weight of no one's listening to me.
What about the backpack we wear? We wear the, think of it like this. We wear a backpack, they taught me, and you keep filling that, not to cut you off, they keep filling the backpack. Yeah. You keep, as kids, we keep filling this backpack of the trauma. And do we ever open our backpack up, and do we ever let stuff out of our backpack? No, it takes years of extensive therapy. That's why when people are like therapy, like I don't need it. It's like we all need it.
Yeah, and it might not
Most people need it.
Yeah, and it may not be the typical therapy. I will say I needed something intensive that was all in, phone off, didn't work for 28 days. Yeah. When I came back out into the world we live in, that we normalize all this abuse in, you now then realize the entire world is operating at a low frequency when they could be more joyful, more happier, cleanse themselves, cleanse their aura, get aligned with a higher thing. So like you have billionaires and millionaires trying to date you, not broke abusive men. And like those broke abusive men are now scared of you. I just think that all changed for me when I got out of that. And I no longer have bad people around me. I no longer tolerate that. But growing up as a public school kid, it really makes you tolerant of, rape culture, non-consent culture, mental abuse, all sorts of abusive tendencies. And I think I'm happy you shared that. I'm happy I shared it. But so when did you go to your trauma center?
I went.
Mine was 3 years ago. Oh, you went 4 months ago.
4 months ago, 5 months ago. And
good for you.
Yeah, I mean, it was.
Did you like shut the phone off, or what happened?
Well, we were allowed to have our phones, which it wasn't as extensive as yours. I feel it was an IOP, which was a. You can go back home that day. So it was from like 9:30 in the morning till 3:30 in the afternoon, 5 days a week. It was a group setting. I didn't really love that part. I didn't mind it because I did get to hear around me like everybody else, like and what they're going through, and we got to speak, and everybody got to process. They call it. It's called processing. People have been through shit, rape, this, like you were saying, like who's trying to who almost hung themselves if their kid didn't cry, or and then thank God they didn't do it. And we're living in a society where I think a lot of people frown upon. They still, for some weird reason, frown upon therapy. But like, why? Like
because people control people when they don't know about mental health.
Correct.
They don't take accountability for their own mental health. I don't want to share that with my child, like my family, so that way I can shame, reject, blame, abuse her, whatever. She's not going to know how to stand up for herself. And I will say this, the day I walked out of that trauma center, my whole family was too scared to talk to me. So it's not that I cut anyone off.
Because they knew they were kind of wrong, right? Like,
yeah, like they have this saying called, imago communication. And if you look that up and you practice that in your life, imago, A-M-I-G-O, imago.
I'm definitely gonna look that up.
So my psychiatrist got my family on the Zoom, and I was the only person. She was so proud. She said in group, she goes, Farrah did imago, the back and the forth, making sure they hear her. She made sure that she heard them. You check in, you move on, you don't retract, you don't circle back around, you keep it moving. And I was just so clear and so foundationally sound in what I knew and what I know. And my dad was amazing. He was like, I hear you, I want to do better. And that's why we still have that relationship. The person who he married was crying. She now realized the gaslighting game and getting in between my dad, it's over.
Thank God.
And I just say,
I'm happy for that.
And I want everyone to be happy. I want everyone to get married, but put your own toxic stuff where you want it. I don't want a toxic marriage like what I've seen basically all around me growing up.
Yeah.
And I'm just breaking all cycles. And I don't know, you can applaud yourself, but just know when you're doing this work, it is a lonely road. You are the star on top of your own tree.
Yep.
And you just keep going. And that's it.
Yeah. And you're really, like you said, we're kind of alone in this when we're doing it. like I said, I didn't go to an as extensive treatment center as you. I've been thinking about it.
I think you should check out Bringing Real Change, Makana Path.
Nice. Like I have this like, this like, rah, like, oh, fuck you, mother. But like in my real soul and who I actually am. And, it's the editing on the show plays one role of like the villain in me. Like I could be a villain, but like, it's not really who I am 100%.
Yeah.
But they've been riding that for how many years, Farrah? 16 fucking years. So people believe this. Like I've been living my life having to, and I want to be a mom someday.
Yeah.
And I don't want to raise a kid knowing that like that's gonna come out like mommy was a like, you know what I'm saying? Like your daughter knows it's not true because you made sure that you raised her without being in school, doing homeschooling, where she didn't have all that noise in her ear, right? She didn't have to go to school and be like
toxicity,
having like kids in school, which you're smart for this. Like, oh, mommy was doing this. Like, no, she doesn't even have that in her ear. So that's why she's good.
But those children don't even really know what my real life is. And for
exactly.
Parents, and for parents
I was just going to say that.
To indoctrinate their children wrong, I have every belief in my head and in my mind from getting like a PhD in parenting now with my child being 16. The majority of husbands and wives who are together and raising horrible boys, that's on them. They don't know child development. It's sad. I can only imagine. My daughter's generation was something of like, whoa, I was in kindergarten and I've never heard any boy talk about sex or wonder about another person's parents' sex life.
Oh
and
my
I think
God.
That was in a suburban 10 out of 10, school.
Yeah, of course.
But the wives were stay-at-home moms and the dads were only allowed to work in that community. And I feel like there is something wrong when both people are not working hard, both people don't have equality and inclusion in their home. That is setting up sons to be very lacking and weak in life. And we need to stop that.
Yeah, like little.
Yeah.
Just kind of.
Well, and they turn into abusers.
And that's another thing. Like big time, a majority of them are now. If you have a son and, God willing, that doesn't, you've done a good job. You've done a good, but you're right. The world, especially with men, oh my God, they've gotten so soft. I'm like, am I dating like a woman? Like I'll just be a lesbian. Like what the I'm good with that. Like
I'm never gonna be a lesbian, but I know I know there's amazing men out there. It's like I have like 5,000 boyfriends online, to be honest.
I mean, that's great.
Yeah, and
you gotta teach me how to do that, girl.
Yeah, OnlyFans. Check out my OnlyFans.
Yeah, right.
Check out my OFTV, whatever you want to do. But I know there's amazing men out there.
It's hard to find them. It's hard to find them because most of them.
We're going to say it's easy to find them. They're attracted to me. I believe in manifesting aligning your aura with like what you want, and it just happens.
And that's what you're doing. And like you already manifested your comedy debut.
Yeah, done better than any. Look at that. Straight up out the gate.
I'm actually starting to do that too. Like, all right, like I don't want this, and it doesn't serve me. So this is. We could talk about negativity all day, but that is what's in the world. A lot of it, but there's a lot of positivity too, right? There's a lot. But
thank God for every podcast. A little hint of positivity in every podcast.
100%.
It's like that social lubrication we all need.
I just love the fact that you put like a person in his place that needed to be put in his place, and I don't think that person ever saw that coming. But that was a humble pie that he needed to eat, man.
So your ex needed to hear some good words, and that's why some people walk right into their own learning lesson. It's not anything to do with you. It's not anything to do with me. They walk right into their own learning lesson.
Correct.
And when they get the honest to God truth before them, they lose their mind, their mental health. Apparently, he lost his stuff. And I really hope, I wish them all the best.
Same.
But yeah, you don't need to be abused for it. Another woman didn't, and her child. That's just unexcusable to me. And I don't have any time for like rapey vibes from men who don't take accountability for their actions. That's very narcissistic. That's disgusting. That is gaslighting, and that should be in jail in my eyes. So yeah, I have no tolerance for that.
A lot of men would probably think that they would slide in your DMs and say what they said to you, and then wouldn't have been put on blast like that. But I got to tell you. He
also posted me on his main feed, so it's like.
Yeah, but thank God for you, because that woman with her child would have never known that this was going down if it wasn't for you. So kudos to you, and shout out to you for that, because you're a real girl's girl for doing that.
I totally am.
You saved her and her son.
Yeah.
Because that's sad.
Because you're like, I weathered a storm, and you don't want other people to weather a storm.
No. And I actually met up with her the other day.
Good for
and she was like, tell Farrah, I said, thank you. Like, you know, like, oh my God, if it wasn't for her, because this person was lurking in the shadows of your DMs, and then you shot him down. Because what the fuck do you want? You don't even know this person.
No.
And then it would have been like, if you never put it up, you were being such a girl's girl. If you never put that up, that poor girl and her son, he just met her son.
Jesus Christ.
He just went to the son's second birthday party with her whole family.
I didn't even read that. I don't know the extent.
And this person would have just kept going through the motions of gaslighting this girl and lying and narcissistically love bombing her. And that's why you really helped her life.
And then she saw the discard. The discard from a narcissist is the worst part. You feel that, you know, you're discarded. It's abusive.
And then the hashtag bullying, where I'm getting bullied. Really? Did you see that one? It's like, you're not getting bullied, bro.
No, you've been bullying people intimately in relationships, and it's disgusting. It's disturbing.
And you're finally, and you know, everything that is dark comes to the light, my friend.
Yeah, it does.
So with you and I and her, and it came to the light, and now we know. I mean, thank God, like I said, for you. And it was almost like God meant for that whole situation to happen.
I have to say that for a lot of situations and legal situations that I'm in. I always ask God, I always am like, God, you can use me for your will and your way. I don't understand why this is happening to me. Same way with a lot of things I'm going through right now. But trust the process. Yeah, and I just have to. And I think like some people, you know, in the 12-step program don't believe in God. And I got to just say, like, I've always... like since I've been 5, like I vividly remember just loving God and Jesus.
Yeah.
And so everybody who's always kind of judged me and said this and sent me Bibles and all this stuff, I just know like one thing's for sure, like God has been with me along every way. And I have to say, I'm grateful that God uses me to help other people. I'm appreciative of that. And some things are not easy and hard. I feel like, oh my God, can I like live through some of these things? Can I actually help anyone?
You have.
But it does.
You definitely have. I have
so
to tell you.
ladies out there, you're just a blessing to God. Hand and feet of Jesus, and let all this Lucifers running around this planet,
the darkness,
let it go to
lurking. Hell. And you know what? Us women I have to say, we have to stand up for each other more, because somebody like you, I was actually shocked, and I shouldn't have been shocked, because because women should do that all the time for other women, but they don't. Oh, so I just want, you know what I'm trying to get at? Like you, like I said, you helped. So when people want to sit there, I'm reading reviews about you, she's a fucking this, and people write this stuff, fuck Angelina, fuck. People don't realize like you are a good-hearted person, and you are a girl's girl. Yeah. And I don't see many.
I'm strong in it.
I don't see many girls out there.
I don't either. You know?
And it's a blessing that you're like that. Yeah. I'm like that.
Yes.
I am a girl's girl, and I'm like, am I the only one that's a girl's girl? So when I saw what you did, I go, I gotta fucking hang out with Farrah. She's me. Like we're people, like, you know,
people only. No,
you're a good-hearted person, because, again, these men get away with fucking what they're doing to us. Yes. And let me say it again, it's not always just men.
It's also women who
It's also women that do it too, so I'm not just going to fucking say that.
And with men, yeah.
But I'm happy that you're able to go and do your comedy and make light of this now. And you're like, my rapist is probably out there. I'm like, I love it. I was like, I love that she just said that, because, I mean, you're making a joke out of something that was very hard for you to go through, obviously.
Yeah, but it's also...
And something you should have never went through.
Yeah, but it's also every day in society. Why is society, it's like... No, it's like a backhanded like joke. It's like, I guess I have to be okay with it. It's because society is okay with it. Our legal system's okay with it. It's like the catch and the release. We release people who have like been predatoring people for 20 years. Yep. And if men can get off by saying like, oh, I'm so sorry for what I did in these relationships with these women. It's like, you didn't even really have a relationship. You abused someone. That is not ever a relationship. That is a dysfunctional way of not taking accountability for your crime. Sorry. Like, I don't even do crimes, and people have plenty of times tried to put me in jail, as we've seen. And thank God I don't even have a mugshot. But it's like,
I'm happy you don't.
Yeah, I don't deserve it. And a lot of other people who are innocent don't deserve their mugshots. Yeah. But I think we need to just understand our society allows gaslighting rapists and horrible people to run around, go to Targets, go to stores, predator children. And I'm sorry, if I'm the only person who's going to make light of it on a stage, then I am.
I'm here too. I'm going to say the truth too.
And I'm like, I'm going to just laugh at all of you fools for ruining our society. And it's not the beautiful, amazing, strong women. It's the horrible people who sit around and do nothing.
Yep. And when we're, domestic violence abuse victims, that's another thing. It's like I said before, we touched on it a little bit. I've lived in it for years. I lived in it when I was a kid. I'm
sorry to hear.
Been born and raised dealing with that. Yeah. So I think when I'm in that situation with any new partner or something, that it's my fault because this person makes me feel like, well, it's you, it's you, and I'm like second guessing, is it me? And I'm like, but I didn't. And then it's the narcissistic, it's the gaslighting, and I became so weak to the point where I even know I became weak. Yeah. And I am starting to learn, like, I'm seeing shit and I'm like, why the fuck did I just do that? Why did I allow somebody for that many years to do that to me? Yeah. And put out their fake narratives of me. And then you got fans actually believe in this person.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's like, it's not happening no more. People like that, like you said, should be in jail for their crimes.
Yes.
Okay?
It's criminal behavior.
Putting your hands on a woman
is never okay.
Gaslighting a woman to the point where it's like, I feel like I don't want to be here anymore. Yeah. That is that, and him and this person knowing that, and this is not just one guy. It's like, well,
this is many men in our work environments, reality TV environments,
because they want to get into it so bad if they're the regular guys, you know. So again, it's a jealousy thing too towards us that they if you
Yeah.
It's like, I want what you guys have and fuck you. Yeah. You know?
Those are weak men.
Weak men.
And so we can't get bored and allow weak men in our life.
Yeah. And I look at you and I'm like, okay, you don't allow it. And I have to say, I got to get to your point because.
That's totally fine.
Yeah.
We recognize things, you 12-step them, and then you're living your best life. And I'm a testament to that. So it sounds so easy, but we really have to just say it out loud. Admit like what's up. I mean, I even admit every day. I'm like, oh my God, why do I still have a caffeine addiction? I need to cut out the sugar. It's ruining my brain. It's getting me all excited and I can't think straight. And I think just like the littlest things, from sugar to caffeine to anything. But then, yes, things are not just so lighthearted. Things are abusive. Things are tough. Things are heavy. But I think just like those little things, people are like, 12 steps, is that just for alcohol? No. 12 steps is for your finances. 12 steps is for your relationships. I actually did an amazing relationship course for 12 weeks. I paid, $12,000 to do it. And I did all the healing. Shout out to Lisa Shield and my alumni of women who have now stuck with this program. Learned, scams, everything. We go through everything. We have a personal coach. We do 2 psychology group calls a week. And that was so nurturing for my heart, my soul. And I just like extend this idea of like, if you could go do like a guardian of your soul or like dating naked course with Lisa Shield. She has different things. Her husband's in there. And that's like the beauty of this course. And I think if anyone's looking for courses of self-improvement and like fixing their whole dating world and stopping that like
repetitive
traffic jam of bad boys. You open up your life, you love dating again, and I do. I can go on the worst dates, the worst attitudes, the worst whatever, but I'm like, respectfully, not for me. I had a great time going out. I needed to practice my divine femininity.
It gave you a life lesson.
Yeah. I get to practice. I get to play on my dates. Mm-hmm. And then one day when the right person shows up, You know it, you feel it, you don't repeat any bad patterns, you have clarity, you
Yep.
have a support group of women who are now having babies, now getting married, now living their best lives with financially stable men, those who provide for them, they keep them in their divine femininity, not the toxicity. When you feel like you have to survive, that is a horrible man.
And that's a lot of them, but I would love to hear more about that because that is something that I probably need to do.
I think every woman should. And
I feel like I got to do this whole course.
Yeah, and it's such a blessing to see like a man and a woman present, actively practicing the
together.
rhythm, the rapport, the healthiness, how you keep it, how you balance it. And that's a beautiful thing. And I wish that for anyone in a relationship on this planet, we all are deserving of it. For men and women to have that beautiful relationship.
That's a great thing. I didn't even know. So it's crazy because you have like a lot of other things that like I don't know about. For example, I didn't even know that they had this whole course and stuff.
Yeah.
Like I didn't know. I'm kind of like the person that doesn't know where to go for things like that because I have like I'm like a non-trusting person. I'm like I've been so battered and fucking abused my whole life, traumatized that like I'm like kind of like lately like a little meek mouse. Like I don't know if I can go to that because what if I go to that and that person does this? But I got to get out of that.
Yeah, I do. I love to do Insight Timer. They have like anxiety meditations. Like when I came out of the center, I realized that the world gives me anxiety because of their fears, their weakness, their challenge situations that I don't need to own anymore. And I think that's what I remind myself every day when I'm back at work is I don't need to own anyone else's stuff.
Yep.
I'm really on my own journey. If people can retain the information to help themselves, more power to them. They don't have to spend $40,000 or $12,000, you know, all these thousands that I've spent on myself. They get it for free. And that's why I made YouTubes about like my 12-step binder and breaking it down. Because if someone doesn't have the knowledge or the tools, I just hope like they could run across like a free YouTube. But all of these tools, the binders, the books, the papers, any of that is free online. And if you look up like just 12-step principles, like booklets and stuff like that, I ordered a bunch and I started doing like spending some time donating and serving my time at halfway houses for women.
I love that.
Yeah, and helping them with their resumes, using AI. Then I would give them like 12-step workbooks so that they could have a guided kind of like journal workbook thing.
That's nice.
And they can go through whatever they're going through because I see like not everyone can be strong on their own. And I have actually been given a beautiful situation by, I guess, saying like there's no other way in my life. I am on my own. I need to figure it out. And I think the sooner you realize this, the better, because you yourself is the one person who you spend more time with than anyone else.
Yep.
The end. And you got to love yourself. You got to bring self-esteem, self-compassion to boost your confidence and get back on track and focus. So yeah, by losing my daughter's father, I think, you know, and I didn't give my daughter away to like adoption, and some of my peers are very much regretting that and having a very hard time with that full circle year with
No, you
being
stuck
16.
you stuck with it. I got to give you a lot of props for that too because you were young. You were 16 years old.
Yeah, it's real. And now looking back, and this year, full circle year of teen mom and my daughter being 16, I'm like, I could harbor resentment now knowing as an amazing parent that my parents completely dropped the ball, completely didn't invest their time in child development, didn't want to invest in their mental health, even till this day. And I don't have to choose that. I can break that cycle. I can go hang out with better people who know better skills for relationships, parenting. And that's what I did. I'm like, who is teaching a class? Who is sharing their mentorship? Who has already walked this walk and I can actually look up to them? And I had no one around me to look up to. And I think that's really a lot of people, right? More societies than great, right?
Yep.
They're more nah.
Yep.
Yeah. So I just think finding those people where you can look up to them, that is it. That is like the saving grace. That is my happiness. Otherwise, yeah, I don't know where I'd be because I think so many people just sit in negativity, rumination. They want you to repeat. And I'm not a repeater. I get bored. I get unhappy. not a good person when I'm bored. So I always say, you know, I'm staying busy. I'm staying out of trouble.
I love that for you.
Yeah. And my daughter, I'm just literally just so happy that she doesn't have to struggle with like, you know, learning disabilities. Like she can actually be friends with people who have different disabilities. Like 1 in 4 people have disabilities, if not more. And I think that's a beautiful thing to understand, like what other people could or could not be going through, how you can identify if this could be a friend, even if they have like, you know, any symptoms, Tourette's, anything.
Yeah.
And so I'm proud of her, like at camps, at church, doing her thing, having her own style. She doesn't like.
I love her own style. I was like, look at her.
Yeah, she doesn't get swayed
I love
anyways.
it.
She's a good person, fashionable. She's traveled the world, and yeah, I
did a good job. I feel
she deserves it. You know, when we see our generation going through so much, and it's like we can never correct it. We can never correct it, and then one day we do, and you're like, whoa, we have so many other generations after us that still need that same education. So
I agree.
It's just, it's a thing on my heart. But I'm happy I did it on my own. I'm happy I never gave my daughter up for adoption. I'm just so blessed.
I mean,
and
look at you. You were, like I said, you were 16 and you didn't have, like, I never had a stable family.
Yeah.
You know, you as well, right?
Yeah, they're divorced. They didn't work out.
I mean, I just found out after 37 years of living that my father wasn't my father.
Okay, yeah.
By taking a DNA test, and then, that shot to shit too.
Yeah.
And you know, I am alone, and I'm like you, like like at least your dad and you're whatever, and you know, you're getting to that better place with him and everything, but
I don't really talk to anyone, by the way.
That's like me. I was just going to say.
Yeah, I'm happy like that.
I have my animals. I have my.
Who doesn't have their baby animals?
I love my animals. I have to tell you, I have my 12 animals.
Oh my God, which animals? I got a horse. I got a peacock.
I have 10 cats and a dog.
Why did the cats take over?
Because I don't know. I got so many cats with my ex-husband, and then I got cats with my ex, this other. And then I just have this soft spot for every animal, especially dogs and cats. But the cats are always the ones that are like, oh, nobody fucking wants them. But like, they're like dogs, my cats. They don't bite. They don't scratch. But I do feed 5 outside too. So I got 15 cats.
Jesus.
And I got 1 dog. And my other dog just passed away, Peanut. And raccoons.
Nikki, all the animals.
I mean, I'm feeding the raccoons. I'm like, you got to eat too, bro.
Yes,
like, come on.
Yes.
So I literally look at animals and I say, you guys, I'd rather just go home. Even though I was out last night, I went back to hotel room in AC and I fucking went to sleep while everybody else was at the club.
Yeah.
I'm like, the fuck am I doing here?
Yeah.
Like, this is not me anymore.
Yeah.
What I really want to do is I want to be a mom.
Yeah.
I, got sperm donor sperm. Mm-hmm. I wanted to do it alone.
You can. There's a whole group of women, who do it
I don't know
alone.
what's going to happen, but I'm just saying,
You're like, I don't know what's going to happen.
I'm just saying I might be doing it alone.
If you put the sperm and the egg together, I know it's going to happen.
But I'm saying, like, I'm going to probably not have a dad in the picture when I have this baby, if I, get pregnant.
Well, guess what? I have not had a dad this entire
time.
Saying. I'm an amazing mom.
So that's why I'm saying this to you, because I'm looking at you like you did it.
I did it young.
Yes.
People do it in their 40s on their own.
Yep.
There's really you can go do whatever you want, women. Go set your mind to it and it happens. Yeah.
It was like when you first found out you were pregnant, it was probably so scary for you, especially your age. But now if you were like in your 40s, would you ever have more kids?
I don't know. It's like, will I find the new love of my life with the new Farrah that I am, the woman that I grew up to be?
Yeah.
I
definitely
gotta
go to Dubai, girl.
Yeah,
I gotta get out of here.
I got all sorts of sheiks front of me over there, but I have to say it's like I don't get persuaded by attention.
Yeah,
male attention. It's all day long, every day long. You just realize some people are predators, some people are admirers.
Some of them.
You need to find the real ones in all of in all of that's available, and that's why you have to really train yourself and just stick to what's the best.
And then if you see red flags, right? Like my other thing is when I see red flags, I'll still be like, oh, well, maybe that person will change. No, they won't.
I call it just cut it off. I don't have to be mean. I don't have to be rude. I just say, I'm really wishing you all the best because I do.
Yeah.
Everyone is going to find someone for them.
Yep.
even the criminals. And, you know,
so right.
They have a show of that, Love and Lockup. Enjoy it. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, yeah, look at them. They have people that are literally waiting for them to come out. They find love too.
Yes.
I feel like everybody should find love.
It's just harder to find love when you've improved yourself, when you have a healthy life. And I don't know, you have to be, I am in love with myself. And I can say that because I love taking myself on my own dates.
I love that.
I love not fearing anything. I love just being the woman that I am. I love making new friends. I love serving other people. And I think that's why comedy is so great for me. I do have my pets. I love
How many pets
my
you
pets. I have one cat.
Aww.
And by the way, that one cat, before we left for the trip, somehow woke me up to digging in my suitcase, and he pissed in my suitcase.
No, he didn't want you to leave.
Yeah, and I was
That's
like,
why.
Yeah. I was like, you know what? We might have to take you back to the cat hotel. Sometimes I'll just, I need a break from the kitty cat, so he gets to go in a luxurious cat hotel.
That's a cute thing.
And they have so much fun there.
Yeah, probably I heard those places they took good
God,
care of them.
You have a camera. They have birds.
They
got
send
gerbils.
you pictures.
They have like TVs. They got wheels. I mean, the cats. It's basically like a Disneyland for cats.
I love that.
And then I have my 2 dogs. My daughter has her dog, and I have mine.
What kind of dogs are they?
Billionaire is my dog,
I love that.
My boyfriends, when I tend to have one in my space, they get very jealous of my dog. My dog is like, don't get in between me and my mom. My dog is
territorial.
My dog is very much like that. So he'll like start chewing my things, he'll start acting out if a man's in there. So I just kind of like to keep everything separate to like really know that that's a good person, which some don't make it through. So it's great to have
they say animals know.
Yeah, they do. They do know, and you need to listen to your animals.
Oh, I've seen like lately being single, like having a man over. I'm trying also not to have too many men in my space because
it's a sacred place.
It's a sacred place, and I'm that's another thing I'm learning. And you could see that when like they're not a good person, which has been a few lately. It's like the animals will not take to that person.
The animals will not take to them.
No. So I'm like, I wish you the best. And but that's they're my life.
Okay. So I feel like, I don't even know. When was the last time I saw you? I feel like I saw you in New York.
Years ago.
But you had never been married. I don't feel like you were even having boy problems then. So
no, I was married. I was married
twice?
Years ago. No, one time.
What time?
I was married in 2019, and then COVID happened right after that. But I was married.
So I was not out here in 2019. I was in LA. Yeah.
So I got married to a guy that I was with for 6 years.
What happened in 6 years? I've never been married.
He's a Gemini.
Uh-oh.
He had a double life.
Oh, wow. Holy shizzle.
And a double life that nobody would ever have known. But I have to say, I was the happiest in that relationship ever. Mm. And because he was funny, we were jokesters together. Mm-hmm. And I can't say anything bad about him. I really can't, other than the lie. That is where that lie's pretty substantial.
I wouldn't waste my time with that lie. I would be like, mm-mm.
But I didn't know about it until later on. So then it almost was like a fucking domino effect. After we got divorced, it was obviously public. We had the show filmed the whole wedding. It was a 4-episode wedding on the show on the Jersey Shore. And they don't do that shit. You know that. Yeah. 4 episodes was huge, because it was so much drama at that wedding. And we got divorced. We were married 2 years. And we got divorced, and it was messy. Mm-hmm. And I wish him nothing but the best in life. I think he's very lost, and it's unfortunate. Yeah. Because he is a good guy.
Yeah.
Huge secret.
A lot of people wear a mask. And when they do 12-step principles and they just are confident in who they are, they stop wearing masks. They stop lying to people. And that's why I have to say that's another form, again, narcissism. When you are married to someone and you don't know them fully, and when they tell you who they are fully, you can literally just walk right out of that marriage and be like, wow, I never knew them. And that's fucked up on them. But you don't own their issues.
So, why marry me, though? Is it because of the show? I never looked at him.
It's definitely because of the attention, the facade, the whatever.
And that's another thing, Farrah. I'm fucking sick of these men.
Yeah.
With this with TV, man. It's like, we're
So why don't you lie detector test them and just stop even being worried. Don't even concern yourself. Why don't you just say, you know what? I would just love transparency, my peace of mind.
Yeah, I'll pay for it.
I have no problem for doing a little lie detector test. Just want to make sure we're on the same page.
Yeah.
You know about a little bit of my history. People weren't on the same page. I'm just trying to eliminate that. You cool? You're kosher with it?
Yeah.
We'll do it.
Do you make everybody that you meet sign NDAs?
Yeah.
Every guy you date. Mm-hmm. I just started doing
even
that.
men who I don't even go on dates with, Zoom dates, I make them sign something.
Because you need to, I was a fool for that many years not doing that. Where somebody like this person that went to your comedy show was ranting and raving, and the person was actually sitting there saying like an idiot, I went through her phone and I was screen recording her cheating on me. You see that one?
No.
You're not allowed to go through somebody's phone and record their phone without their acknowledgement or authorization. That is called, what is that called? Invasion of privacy.
Well, it's just also like that's a boundary breaker. Again,
yeah, but that's illegal.
I know.
That's a criminal offense.
That's it. It's a criminal offense.
That's a criminal. So if you're like sleeping next to a guy and he goes through your phone, he fucking takes the screen grabs of it. You could have naked pictures in there. You could have private stuff. How dare you?
So I have had people cross that line. They've all been in couples therapy when that has happened, and the therapist is literally like, that is not allowed. That is criminalistic behavior. That's also narcissism. That's a lot of abusive tendencies. So they always say, Farrah, it's up to you if you'd like to continue this, but you don't need to get tickets to the circus. And I don't get tickets to the circus anymore. So I know that I am
That's
the
the
most.
best way of putting it.
I know
that
I'm
is the best way.
Trustworthy, honest, with integrity person, credible. And a lot of people who are not credible are attracted to credible, strong people because they have things to hide.
Yes.
So
then what we have to do is give NDAs to everyone we meet.
Yeah, I mean, I've written a interview about how I do that, because the actual male reporters were like, how do you get men to sign these NDAs? And it's like, there's no option. There's a gate. There is a wall to China. If you want to hop over the wall to China, you want to get your immigration papers to talk to Farrah Abraham, you're going to sign the NDA and you get to go on a Zoom date. I just start off very innocent, you know?
Do you do it in the beginning? Because I was told to always do it in the beginning, because if you do it later on, it's like, all right, they're your enemies now. They're not going to sign that shit.
Well, so you're training someone, you're letting them in and knowing like, this is like what we expect.
Correct.
You will not be getting disrespect, hatred, anything from me. And I'm going to make sure it's the same for this person who I don't know. You know, this is all I have to say to this. And I always get complimented on my dates. The dates always say to me, I have the luxury of knowing you for who you are. You are transparent. You are the person who you put on your Instagram page. They love it. They thrive off of knowing that this is a woman, this is a girl that I see, that I know, and she is everything and that and more when she shows up to the date, which is awesome. But I say back to them, wow, thank you for that amazing compliment. But I don't have that same with you. So we're going to take our time.
We're going to pump the brakes a little bit.
Yeah. And we don't get full access to this because, again, like, these men don't post. These men aren't transparent. They often wear a facade. They don't use social media. You got to wonder why. And you got to understand, if you are not transparent with me, if I have to pry information out of you, which I don't even do with a teenager, I certainly will have very limited patience, but I will definitely be in my feminine. I will take my time. I will get to know you, but no one gets to like make me rush because they know me. That doesn't happen.
See that though? How it's like one-sided. They know you because you are so transparent and authentic for who you are. What you see is what you get with you. What you see is what you get with me. And it's like they already know us. So they already got an advantage.
Well, they can already manipulate if they want to.
Correct. And it's like with us, it's like we got to take like, and they want things snappy. They want things like,
but who are they?
I know. I'm like, yeah, that doesn't work like that, bro. But back then, the very, you know, down, depressed, not feeling good about herself, Angelina would allow that. Yeah. And now I'm starting to wake up, and it took me almost 40 years, man. I'm gonna be freaking 39 years old, and I'm like, idiot. Like I sometimes I'll talk to myself. I'm like, you moron. I shouldn't be talking to myself like that. But it's tough love. And it's actually been working for me. It's like, I allowed that again. Come on now. And God will continuously, they say, and I believe in this, keep giving you the same life lessons and putting you on that roller coaster until you're like, all right,
I'm done riding the roller coaster.
Yeah, you're done with this fucking clown.
So are you done riding the roller coaster?
I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. I need to.
How do you date right now? You said you went out. I don't drink at all. I don't really
drink
go
anymore.
Out.
I don't drink anymore either. I'm done with it. A lot of people look at me like I have 300 heads when I say that.
Well, people are allergic to alcohol.
I don't like the way I feel on alcohol.
Yeah.
I don't like the hangovers anymore. And it's putting poison to me in my body. And I'm not doing it anymore.
Oh, yeah. It's really bad, obviously, for our livers and skin.
Exactly. Especially as we're getting older. Back then, used to bounce back like rubber. Now I can't. I'm not doing it. So, like, everyone, even like when I film, it's like, you're not going to drink. It's like, no, you guys can do it, I guess. Like, do whatever you want. But, like,
yeah.
And also, I wasn't myself when I was drinking. And
no one is.
Exactly. And I know that, like, I was being very stupid on camera. And I'm like, they're not going to get that anymore from me.
Yeah, no.
Because they're just going to use chop and screw it. And then I'm going to be looking like an asshole.
Yeah.
So I want to be in my own head. I want to know what's going on. And it's been working for me this way.
Yeah. I mean, it's your right. Your whole entire life. You know, some people never even touch alcohol. You know, some people never touch cigarettes. Some people never touch anything at all. So, yeah.
Yeah.
You know, no one needs to impression anything else.
Like, I want to start eating healthier. I've been, like, juicing. I've been, like, you know, going to Whole Foods and, like, I don't know how you eat, but, like, I'm doing this whole.
I eat like that. Austin, Texas, that's where Whole Foods came from.
Yeah, that's where it did come from, right? But I was in there the other day. I was spending, like, 2 hours in there. I'm like, this place is awesome.
This is heaven.
Really?
Yeah, I love it.
I'm, like, fucking strolling down every single lane, like.
Yes.
So do you want to plug anything else? I want people to know, like, when they could see your comedy shows. Yeah.
Okay, so we will be kicking off the comedy tour in May. I need a little bit of a break, but just check out my Instagram. It's going to have all of the tour dates on there, link in bio, of course, all the fun stuff, all the TV shows, all of anything. And of course, just Google something. If you see a date, if you see a time that you love, come on out. I cannot wait to see everyone and laugh and just have a good time. And, like, even Mother's Day, who knows? There might be some special events. So I'm so pumped. And hopefully Angelina,
I'm going to come to one.
Stop by.
A few. I'm going to come to a few.
You know, yeah.
I want to laugh. I need, like, a good laugh, and just, like, I'll be, like, rooting for you, obviously.
Yeah, and maybe we can go on double dates after.
Yeah, or I could be a third wheel. I don't even know. I'll be a third wheel right now because I got nobody. But hey, listen, like I said,
I love being here.
I can learn a lot from you. It seems
yes.
You've been, you know, I'm going to be texting you now. Like, wait, when you said that about that group, can I go to that? Like,
yes, you can.
Like, for everybody out there that has, like, negative shit to say about her, she's a blessing. Like, Jesus, like, you guys got to look and be nicer. Be nicer to me. Be nicer to everybody in this world.
Kindness is great for you.
Yeah. And for all the fans out there that, like, really just want to be our fans, we love them. We love the haters too, but, like, the haters got to chill though a little bit.
I love my haters. They're confused followers. Thank you for looking at my stories.
That's a good way of thinking
about
it. Yeah, we love you all, and thank you so much thank you for being on Hello Podcast. Can't wait to do many more things with you, and stay tuned for more stuff that Farrah and me have going on. And thank you for listening. So
bye, guys.
Love you guys. Hey guys, thank you so much for listening to Hello with me, Angelinas. As always, be sure to subscribe and leave us a 5-star review, and head over to patreon.com/AngelinaMTV for extended uncensored episodes where you can win fun goodies like signed headshots, note cards from our recordings. Follow us on Instagram at Hello Podcast for extra tea, and there's a lot of tea on there. Just letting you know, you guys are going to want to hear it. So follow me there. See you next time.